Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I got to set up my slides. I was half in and out of it trying to catch up on the things that I had already looked into. Um, so I got all that set up. How are y'all doing this morning? This is y'all's morning reminder to take your medication. Don't forget, like me, with somebody with ADHD. Good morning, Miss Lady Red. Good morning, James. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Good morning, Sweet Tea 713. Good morning, y'all. So basically, I do have an announcement to make. I ain't figured out how to do the dang membership stuff yet, and until I figured that out, I'm gonna push back the celebration because I want to be able to have the celebration with everything pretty much at one time, to where I don't have to have two different celebrations for getting monetized or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do all that. So we're gonna get into what had happened yesterday. Good morning, Sassy. And I saw you on YTC this morning. Are y'all gonna get back together? It's like seeing the band get back together. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's like when the band broke up and then you see the band get back together, or you just gonna hit that link when you feel like it. I'm sorry. It's just like seeing the band get back together, the band that broke up 2 weeks ago. And you're heartbroken and stuff, it's your favorite band and they broke up and now you get to see them get back together. More like In Vogue, yeah. It's like In Vogue, y'all. It's like when In Vogue broke up, y'all. And I was so sad, right? Okay. And then they got back together. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't wait to see what happens if you're going to continually send the link, because, in my opinion, y'all both bring something different to the table. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Red Vines and Popcorn, what's up? But yeah, so basically, I was watching YTC this morning. Um, I didn't. I mean, we all know how Mrs. O is, so good deal on YTC for not watching anybody read her for filth. Because sometimes I miss when people read me for filth too. You know what I'm saying? And I could care less. So I mean, good on her, for like um understanding how Miss O brings it, right? That's just the way she is. If you know her, that's just the way she is. It's the way she talks, it's just her. So good on YTC for understanding that, whatnot, and not getting upset and all these other things. Good morning, Queen Diva. So, on Just Krista's wall this morning, um, she had wrote a post that said, "Good morning to all." It was 43 minutes ago. Now I know they said this on YTC, but I'm gonna repeat it because Sassy actually broke the story, because when it came out, she was on live. Good morning to all and everyone that supports my YouTube channel. Come close. Guess what? We free now. I am no longer Mrs. Lemon. I am, wait for the new name. I think you will all like it. Now, with that being said, that sorry about that, y'all. That was my mama. Good, sweet baby Jesus. She does not know when, but when you take care of folks. So anyway, um, where was I at? Okay, here we go. You will all like it. Now, with that being said, that means we do whatever the F we wanted to, and no loyalty. See how this works. I will see y'all tonight about 10:45 p.m. Forget being nice and friendly. Now, welcome to the other side of blank name. I'm tired of being nice, talk about things, but folks don't want to talk and get an understanding. Fine. Do you get yours, and I will do me and get mine. No more lemon in titles and headlines. Let me show you how to not give a F. I can be a very nasty person, but baby, when pushed, guys, LOL. I will try to show some kindness, but I got a feeling it is ... See y'all tonight. You ready to do us at nights? Let's do us. I got some plans, guys. You won't want to miss them. Matches, lighter fluid, items, feelings, and people who have done me wrong. Turn your back and walk away. Check, please. Okay, that's what she said, y'all. So she ain't doing no more No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sorry. I had to do that. Good morning, Q. How y'all doing this morning, my beautiful Q? But so basically, she ain't gonna be no more Mr. Nice Guy and whatnot, right? Okay, and now I was up in Mrs. Intel's live, and they were talking. I think it was Miss Intel. I'm pretty sure it was. RNY said Just Krista was contradicting herself. One second she's saying we are not discussing our relationship on YouTube, and then the very next second she said, "Tell him, well, let's discuss our relationship." Or maybe this was Jay Dunn's live. Y'all, I need to write down the live on the top part. Because Jay Dunn had a really good live the other day too, if y'all didn't know. Now, you know, Dragons was talking about, and I think this might have been on YTC when I watched her replay. I'm not sure. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong and tell me whose live this was on, because Chad, I watched like 1,500 lives yesterday. But Dragons said that the way that she got, gave her number to Lemon was basically, and how she got the number. She was going to the store, right? Y'all know that she's been going through some stuff. Hey, YTC, y'all know she's been going through some stuff, right? And so she was going to the store and it was late at night. And, you know, she wanted somebody on the phone with her so that, you know, if some stuff popped off, she had, you know, somebody there that could, you know, possibly get her some help or something like that. So, you know, Dragons time said, well, just call my phone. That way I won't be alone. And Lemon's like, now, you know, I don't give my number out like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trusting you, you know, and he gave it a number and they talked and, you know, that was their stuff. Okay. And she said, yeah, occasionally, you know, Lemon do be giving her a little money, because, you know, she down bad right now. And well, that ain't exactly how she said it, but this is the way I'm interpreted in it. She's down bad a little bit. You know, he help her out every once in a while, you know, and everything. And Dragon said it ain't a competition in her eyes. To get out your feelings and make it fun. You know, she was basically giving Just Krista some advice. Like, get out your feelings, make it fun, read, do what you got to do. You know, bring the content. That's what she said. Now, no, I know who's live this is on. This is on Miss Tracy. See, look. Tracy said JC created it by her being in her feelings. She jumped off the porch too soon. She jumped off the porch way too soon, basically. People are saying that JC is going to move on to classic lights. Some saying it will be NV. So, you know, they're already debating on who's going to be the next Just Krista man, right? And then some people saying it might be a lady. It might be a lady because, you know, women understand women more. And, you know, JC is, I'm not going to guess her sexuality because I'm not like that person. So if she's in here in the cloud, she can let me know herself. I don't know if she actually puts a label on herself or not because some people don't like labels. But some people are saying that Classic Light's going to be the new man. And some people are saying MV. And then some people say it's going to be a woman. So my question to y'all is, do y'all think that it's going to be a man or a woman? And do you have an opinion on who it might be? Because that's what they're saying. Or do y'all think that Just Krista going to say F everybody and stand alone? You know what I'm saying? And say, I ain't doing all this again. This been too much. I mean, it's up to the people, you know? Okay. Also, people, and VS did go live yesterday. People were speculating if it was Vic who VS called on, right? And Vic had said it was him in somebody's live. It was not Vic, who is from Mississippi. I knew that from the beginning. I just forgot who was from Mississippi in this sector. I was like, wait a minute. From Columbus? I was like, do you realize I ain't but an hour and something away from Columbus? I need to know who this is. Well, come to find out, VS did her live, right? And it was Deanna. It was Deanna Irvin, Miss Verbal Assassin. Okay. And then Miss Deanna did her live coming back. So I'm gonna say this: if you ain't caught both lives, that was old school beef sector right there. If you are new or you just coming into the beef sector, that's what the beef sector used to do. Now, I will say, I did remember, I will say that I love me some Jen Lin back in the day. If y'all don't know who Jen Lin is, you're kind of new. Okay, Jen Lin been around for a very, very long time. She may have changed her name now, maybe her picture. But if she's out there in these streets or anywhere in this world, just know I love you, Jen Lin. I know you cussed me out a few times and whatnot. But I still love you, girl, because we had some good times together. We sure did. But Jen Lin, okay, so here we go. This is what happened in VS Live, right? Okay. Jen Lin lived around the corner from Miss Deanna, right? Okay, so Jen Lin was the one. See, I didn't know who took the picture of Miss Deanna's feet back then. I forgot. I didn't pay attention to who took the picture. Because back then they didn't tell who took the picture. So you knew somebody did it, right? Y'all come close. You knew somebody did it, right? But you didn't know who did it. Okay? So I did not know that Jen Lin was the one that took pictures. I saw the pictures back in the day. I don't remember them because, there was a lot of things that happened. But, they had the picture of Miss Deanna's feet, right? Okay. And it was Jen Lin who actually took the picture. I didn't know it was Jen Lin who took the picture. Now, that was the part I didn't know. Like, I knew about the feet picture circulating, but I didn't pay attention to who took the picture. Okay. I don't pay attention sometimes. My ADHD is strong. And you got to think, I don't have a great memory from something that happened, 6 years ago? If not more. Like, I don't even remember how long ago that was. Okay. And then she said that Deanna knew who it was, and she talked to Miss Jen Lin's sister. And she had a talking to them. You know what I'm saying? They were in the same grade. They went to school together, whatnot. She told the sisters, and then she also said something about the daddy wasn't being taken care of, and rest his soul. Miss Jen Lin's father's not with us anymore. He was sickly back then. So I want to say a little something for Miss Jen Lin. Miss Jen Lin, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know, I haven't lost a parent yet, but I know what loss feels like. And I don't have any grandparents anymore, and I've lost siblings and whatnot. So I'm just going to say I am so sorry for your loss and all that stuff going on. Because regardless of this situation, I know bringing up your father for some is hurtful, especially when you lost somebody. And that's coming from my heart. Okay. And then the sisters said, basically, Deanna had said on a live stream that the sisters had said, they begged Deanna not to do no more, that they would take care of it themselves, that they would get all this to stop and whatnot, right? And then VS said, you ain't pa nothing. Deanna is a nerd, and she worked with, I think VS said her cousin, y'all, or a cousin she know or something like that. I was like, ooh, child. And she ain't did nothing. Now, I didn't know that Miss Deanna came from Chopper. Now, Miss Deanna, if I am wrong, you can correct me. You can always pop down in my chat. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I don't know where people came from, if that makes sense, because there's so many of us. But a lot of people did come from Chopper back way in the day, right? A lot of people came through him. That's just like Duchess Kelly Love, Wiley, right? A lot of people came through Wiley into the beef sector, right? So it's a lot of names back then. Hey, ODS, good morning. So it's a lot of names way back in there. And then she was talking about how they had found out that Miss Deanna was living in a hotel, and some about her getting kicked out, and she was harassing Miss Crystal S. If y'all know who Crystal S, y'all was here way back then. If I'm thinking who it is, I know exactly who it is. But I may be wrong, but I think I'm right. I'm not going to say her last name, because she used to use her real last name back then. She's a school teacher, if I'm not mistaken, if I got the right person. Um, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. She was a good lady. But she was harassing Miss Crystal S for having a kid with autism or something. I don't know. Maybe they were beefing back then, because you know how beefing goes, right? Hey, Miss Tiva. And then she moved in with her granny, and he moved in here with his mama. And now I have heard. Now, VS, I don't know if you know this. I have heard that Miss Deanna did I don't know if she took the video down, but she did do a walkthrough when she got her new place. She did a walkthrough. She got a new place on the land that her and her husband have. So I didn't get to see the video myself, but I have heard about it. If I'm not wrong, correct me, Chad, if I'm wrong. But if y'all saw Miss Deanna's live, didn't she do a walkthrough of her new home? Now, I know for a fact the Hood Table did. But if I'm not mistaken, I had heard that she did that, and she had a she shed that she showed and stuff and whatnot. But I'm trying to report the news as I see it. And then, okay, and then she was talking about how Deanna flipped on Tracy for Sean Bradley because Sean Bradley and Tracy fell out. And then Deanna flipped and Tracy did nothing to Deanna just because of Tracy falling out with SB, right? She chose a side. She chose SB's side. Okay. And then she said that Chopper basically dragged Deanna for Fields. Deanna took her hubby on the SB trip, which was Vegas Gate at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And when she talked about these people, she was cool with them, or she had been cool with these people, and then turned on them or whatnot. She was reading her on her glasses and saying that she ain't pot nothing. She said that she didn't have kids or was incapable of having kids. Maybe something happened to her. She was a tool. She had to pay her dues. And then they were saying she didn't take a shower. She smelled musty. Some people had said that. There was 3 people. I forgot their names that had met her and said that. And then she asked her, do you know your social media policies? And then she said Miss Deanna put this out there. She gave you and I know you said in your live you didn't care. She said that she basically a challenge, as mother says, to take a picture in front of Walmart. That's what she said. She said, challenge, take a picture in front of Walmart. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. And then they said on the trip that she used, she didn't have a toothbrush, so she used a rag to wash her teeth. I'm trying to make sure I didn't know. And she was borrowing money from folk because she was broke. That's what we're saying now. But she said VS did say to keep, on your social media policies. And then I went to Deanna's live. Now Deanna had a live right after this, right? And Deanna said that VS posted the pics because Chopper was fussing about it, right? And remember that she told Lady Nika that, okay, that Chopper was upset, so VS posted the pictures. That's what Miss Deanna said. And then she did talk about VS's trauma with her situation. Like sometimes the way Miss Deanna says it, I can't repeat it exactly as she says it because, but she did talk. And she said that's why VS's daughter ran away and she feels threatened. She said that VS was getting sloppy and she will do anything to protect hers. However you take that. Deanna said VS is weak. And she said something to Bayless about something about tricking. You didn't trick right or something. Because like VS didn't trick. Bayless didn't trick VS right or something. Something about tricking. I'm not good at saying certain things, and then she was talking about the dildos and glitter. And You know, they were talking about used dildos and glitter and all this stuff. And Deanna said that VS is weak, and she effed a fat dude behind Kiki. You know, some ugly fat dude behind Kiki. Y'all know that story. And then she said at the end of her life, she got to go and get back to real life. Her life wasn't very long, but it was full of stuff, and Miss VS's also was full of stuff. So y'all can go back and watch, right? And see what, you know, make up your opinion on the situation. Now I will say that there were people in the chat that had said some things, and I did word for word take what they said, and I'm going to repeat it exactly verbatim, which is what I did earlier about the other stuff. You know, I do that. Sometimes I'll take something that people say from the chat, because sometimes, you know, it might be, you know, interesting. Exposed TV said at 1:45 p.m. yesterday, all the calling folks' job and messing with folks' livelihood is going to get her ASS up out of here for good this time. Keep on. Sirius Bayless said, absolutely. She tricked on old Bayless, baby. Miss Ronnie Q said, sprinkle some glitter on them. Don't forget the glitter. And then we move over to the next story. That is a story that's going on right now. We're going to see how that develops between Miss Deanna and Miss VS. VS Icon and Verbal Assassin. If y'all don't know, I did share both lives on my community wall, so you can go back and watch either one. But it was something serious. K Fit, why did they add K Fit in that? Oh no, K Fit was up on ODS's. I was watching ODS's live, and she said she wouldn't be Mrs. Lemon neither with dragons. And you know, a lot of people said when Just Krista put Mrs. Lemon in her name, that was when people said that it got creepy. K Fit, that, you know, ODS was being a little messy, and he asked her. He said, you know, about the tryout, did, you know, with her and Lemon, right? And Kate Viss said she wasn't going. What trial? She you know, she basically said she wasn't doing it. She wasn't going. So she said, you know, she was just being her nice, friendly self, basically. If we break it down in a nutshell, right? She was just chilling. But she wasn't thinking about Lemon in that way. You know, she got too much going on in real life, pretty much. And I don't know, you know, she didn't say it in my opinion, in no negative, like, awful way. It was just like, nah, I'm good. But but Dragons did say she wouldn't have done that either. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have put Mrs. Lemon in her name. And then some people are saying, now there's two sides to this. When ZX came up there and was talking to you know, Jay Dunn, and talking, you know, certain things about her booty and things, and you know, sexualizing Jay Dunn, that Just Krista was sitting up there agreeing with it, and it was gross to some people. And even Trish had to pop up and say, stop with the Diddy stuff, right? But then some people are upset with Jay Dunn for saying about freaking her little niece, or, you know, saying stuff about the niece, right? But on the flip side, Jay Dunn stated that she didn't say anything or go below the belt until Just Krista had said something about Zulu, said that she was freaking her dog and doing nasty stuff with her animal, right? And so that's when Jay Dunn decided to go up under the, you know, thing. You know, she went below the belt because that's, you know. Okay, so this is what some of the chat was saying in there. Child, Jay, this from the Sims over to host. Child, Jay Dunn said that lady was freaking her little niece. Toya, are you serious? Yeah, it was Miss Toya who was talking about that. And then the Only Empress said he defended dragons and didn't defend BBW. I'm just saying, the signs were there. And I don't like dragons, but that Get Prepared song she sang was true. And then somebody else said Lemon was never seriously interested in Krista, while he should have told she should know better. She's old enough to be his mom. You know, he should have basically told her he wasn't really interested, but she should know better is what some people are saying, right? And then but basically there's Jay Dunn did also say that, JC always get actual first. And that's what she was talking about, that she was talking about her dog first, and then she said the new stuff afterward, right? And then Jay Dunn and Mrs. Intel got into a little kerfuffle. It wasn't really too crazy, nothing like that. They just had a disagreement pretty much. Because Mrs. Intel said, doesn't matter, Jay Dunn, you still said it. So ZX have the right to say what he said. And then she said something about Mrs. Intel's, girls. Y'all can go back and watch it. Y'all know how things go. And then ODS had a poll. It says, was Lemmy wrong for dropping Mrs. Lemon? No, got 36%. Maine, I don't give a you know what. It's weird. Got 36%. And then 27% said yes. And ODS's poll got 700 votes, y'all, and it was steadily climbing. If ODS hadn't ended that poll when he did, it probably would have went up in the thousands. ODS, you did good lives, but you always do good lives. So anyway, but it was climbing up there, y'all. And then I got right here. Black Girls Code said Krista was disrespected on Lemons, but the way she said it was Lyman's panel, and he allowed it. But Krista has to take accountability for even involving herself with someone like Lyman in the first place. You get what you get. And then somebody was saying that Jay Dunn was responsible for their breakup yesterday. And like, how did she feel about breaking up a happy home and a relationship? And Jay Dunn was like, I just asked how much it would be to drop her. That's what Jay Dunn said. She said she didn't break nothing up. And then there were people that were stating that, a lot of people were stating that, with Just Krista, that she would go to all these panels and talk about their relationship, but when Lemon would come on, he wasn't supposed to talk about the relationship. Now, that ain't just what Jay Dunn said. I've heard that from others too in the streets. And then they asked Jay Dunn a messy question of who she would pick. It was ODS for Lemon. Would it be Brina or Just Krista? And Jay Dunn said Brina because she's fertile. And yeah, she said because she's fertile and because there's not a huge age gap there. Even though she that was a hard question for her. She said that it's because she's fertile. And, Lemon want to have kids one day. Even that might be another different kind of kerfuffle, y'all. Now Ken said he didn't like the way that Lemon treated Just Krista, and but he said he got his when she let Vic up on her panel because Vic said some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then we were talking about how Miss LaKendra's and Shawnee's beef started because I just remember seeing them on Lemons, and we couldn't hardly hear Miss Shanice. That's why yesterday when I talked about it, I really didn't give too much into it. I told y'all have to go watch it because you can't hardly hear what's being said. Like, you can hear Miss LaKendra, but it's really hard to hear Miss Shanice, right? But then Mitri said that LaKendra and Shawnee's started their beef over at Lady Nika's. And I'm like, I got to go back and watch Lady Nika's and see, I don't know what live it was, right? When this started, if Miss Shawnee's or Miss LaKendra in here, y'all are free to pop down and let me know when that beef started because I have no idea why y'all are even at it or what happened. And I do not want to report on news that I don't know, right? So I just know they got a beef. And then Ken said She bribed Lemon for the mod stick. Who was it that bribed for the mod stick? After she doxed Lemon and Jay Dunn said she tried. Oh, they were talking about Lady Dimples. Ken said that Lady Dimples was trying to bribe Lemon for the mod stick back. And because he wouldn't give it, they went to cursing and all this other stuff. And then that was after she had doxed Lemon and Jay Dunn said she tried to dox ODS, and Lolo said that Miss Dimples don't take rejection well. And then, we talked again about the Miss Dovey and Mrs. Red situation. You know what I mean? And y'all already know pretty much all of what had happened with that. They're still, mad at each other, but I still say that, it would be good for somebody to interview both of them. Maybe the best way to do it would be to have one in the back while you're talking to one, then vice versa, put the other one in the back and bring the other one up so that they can actually combat what the other one is saying, or do one at a time. Do one first and the second. Now, VS has already kind of interviewed Miss Dovey, right? She's interviewed her. So Miss Red, I'm gonna put this out to you again. You need to go up there either with her or even Mrs. Intel or somebody and really get your point across if you really want to. I mean, I'm just saying. And then, do what y'all got to do. Now, I will say I did not know that, I'm surprised. I've never had a phone from where ODS used to work, and I don't even remember the name of the place, ODS. I'm just saying, I don't try to look into people that much, even though you've said it 1,001 times. But when he used to work as a manager, like he was over everybody as a phone rep, like, you had the call center people, right? And then he was the person you talk to if you get mad at the call center person, right? And one day he answered the phone and they asked him and go, "Is this official D spot?" His mouth hit the floor and he goes, "No, no, no, no." Like, no. And then he did find out it was Miss Brown Sugar. And but it was a good conversation. And I thought it was cute how he told her, he said, "Thank you for not telling my job." about my YouTube and nothing. I was like, oh my God, that was so cute. And then they had their little cute exchange. If y'all ain't seen it, go watch ODS's live. It was adorable. And now I heard somebody in chat, because we were talking about Sir King and what his, people have always stated that they think Sir King is Yag. Well, somebody stated in chat that Sir King actually said he was an asexual person. I'm not sure. I haven't heard Sir King come out here and say what he is or put a label on himself, and it's his choice if he chooses to, right? Okay, and then I was over there watching Mrs. Intel's live again, the one that she, and her power came back, y'all. So make sure that y'all, do a round of applause in your mind or anything. Her power came back, so she got power again. I know she's so excited about that because I know what it's like when your power be out for hours and you be bored, and you know how that goes when your power be going out. So that's a good thing. Mrs. Intel's power came back yesterday. You know what I'm saying? From the hurricane. And I will say, pray for all those that were affected by the hurricane, and more so the ones that their houses got destroyed from the spinoff tornadoes that happened. Because it got decimated in some spots. And, pray for those in Florida right now. Okay. And then Uppity and TMO got into it on Mrs. Intel, and Soul Sister and MU. Now, here's my thing. I don't know how long Soul Sister and MU have known each other. I do know that they were stating that this was over a mod stick situation, but Soul Sister said it wasn't necessarily the mod stick itself. She said there were 4 women. She never named them, though. She never named who the 4 women were that she used to talk really good about MU, to and about. And Soul Sister said those same people are now MU's friends, but used to not like MU like that. And basically, Soul Sister stated that she felt hurt and like all that other stuff because like she was really for her and whatnot. MU said, I don't like this fake niceness. If you're going to come at me, come at me. Don't come at me and then, but I liked you. Basically, she's saying, go low if you're going to go low, or shut up. Basically, that's what MU was saying. If you're going to read me, do it, get it over with. Don't be passive aggressive. That's what MU said now. Yeah, I'm just repeating it. But I couldn't hardly, like, I heard some of what Uppity and the Miss O was saying when they got into it on Miss Intel, but it was so much rah-rah and they were on top of each other that I couldn't fully grasp everything they were saying, or I'd try to do a breakdown like I usually do. So you'd have to go back to Mrs. Intel's live to hear that part. Now I will say that Nina popped up there when MU, and it was MU, Soul Sister, Uppity was also going at MU, and then Nina popped up there, and then Nina was saying they were placating MU, and DMSO said, no, we're not, like pat somebody. They didn't say placating, they used another word, but DMSO said, no, we're not, like, and then I think that's what led into Uppity and the Miss O's back and forth that they had. So it got really interesting in that part. Now I will say, they were, hey, Unwind, hey, Miss Crystal, hey, Raya, hey, Miss Tracy. I'm trying not to miss anybody. I'm trying to make sure I get all this commentary out so I don't forget nothing, because y'all know how my ADHD is. Hey, everybody, welcome. So basically, okay, Ms. Intel was talking about, I don't know who they're talking about actually doing the show. I don't know if Ms. Intel was talking about doing the show or giving the show to MU, the thought, but her and DMSO was talking about somebody should do For the Love of BBW. Basically, just for the love of Krista, and, a dating show and whatnot. Now, I don't know if Krista's going to go for that. Hey, Raya Black. Did I say it right? It is Raya, right? Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you if you ain't running games. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Say my name. It's not Raya. Well, how do you say it? Correct me. Ray. Oh, my bad. It's just with an I, not a Y. My bad. Ray Black. Okay, I got you now. I got you. It's just with an I, not a Y. I did see your beautiful. I've been looking and watching while Messy your other videos. I also saw the one you did for Happy Life and some of the other ones. And what you and Donald Gowan's got going on? I see y'all been going back. I've been seeing y'all going back and forth. Okay. I'm like, what? Okay. So anyway, so I don't know if Just Krista ever wants to do a dating show. You know, that's on her. They haven't got the okay from Just Krista herself, but they said it would be a cute idea for, while strike while the thing is hot. But they are talking about doing a Just for the Love of Krista, basically. So, I don't know where they're gonna be getting the men from, Miss Coffee. I mean, maybe some men would like to participate and say it, like put it out there. Hey, I wouldn't mind doing Just for the Love of Krista. Maybe if somebody does a community wall post, we might get some contestants. She does women too, so there might be some women out there willing to, do all that. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we can have a Just Love of Brooke, we could probably have one for JC too, right? But I'm with you on Wild Messy. I think it's too soon. Like, here's my thing. She she had the thing with TC, and then people were running around saying the MV thing, but her and MV were never a thing. That was literally a joke. She cleared that up on my panel, so she said that herself. Unless MV wants to come back something and say it was real himself, it's up to him. But they basically said that was a joke. They were just joking with each other. But then with this lemon situation, it just happened. Good morning, TG beautiful. So the thing with Just Krista and them, I don't know. Just my thoughts. Hello. Hey, Mr. William. So basically I'm not sure if Just Krista would even be okay with having For the Love of Krista, because she's still going through some things. Now I will say, they're fixing to have something. Hey, Red Wings hockey, they're fixing to have something. Okay, so Krista's talking about doing a night show, and we know that Lemon does a night show. All right, so here's the question for the community, the subbies, right? Who are you going to watch? Are you going to watch Lemon? Are you going to watch Just Krista? Or are you going to try to watch one first and then catch the replay on the other? Are you going to have the competing lives going in both your ears at the same time? Or whoever is more interesting, is that the person you're going to watch at the time? Like, what y'all feeling? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to do something I ain't never did. I'm going to do my first poll, y'all. I'm going to do if I can get over here, very first one. I'm going to drop a poll. Watch me, watch me, watch me. I'm going to do it. Okay. What? And then I'm going to put neither, because, some people might be asleep. And some, what night show and I'm gonna let y'all choose, because the subbies are the ones that hold all the power. I'm gonna put Lemon, and I'm gonna put Just Krista. I hope I spelled her name right, because I'm not the best. I'm not the best. And then I'm gonna add option 3. Neither. And then I'm gonna add option 4. I catch the replays. Cause I be sleep. All right. And we're gonna I can't put that many words in there. I'm gonna put I'm sleep. Or yeah. I'm gonna start the poll right now. And we're gonna see what the people. This is my first time ever doing a poll, y'all. This is my first time ever doing one, y'all. I ain't never did a poll before. Ooh. Hey, well, have a good and safe, blessed day, Ray. I'm glad I got your name right now. I've been calling you Ray all this time, and it's Ray the whole time. I need to, I need to watch myself. Yay, on my first poll. Look at me. I'm doing it, y'all. We're gonna figure out how it is, because some people like watching, some people don't. Some people gonna be for Just Krista, some people gonna be for Lemon. I want to know what the people think in this situation, because me myself, I know that I'm gonna be trying to catch both of them, figure out what's going on both of them, and then I'm gonna come back here and tell y'all all the messy drama and things that had happened. Now I will say I got to give a shout out to Lemon. I got to give a shout out to him. A lot of his lives, because they so messy sometimes, is the reason I have commentary. I'm just saying, he has some good things going on. So, mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then I got us some stories today. Okay, I got us some stories today. You know, today's Freaky Friday or Spooky Friday, however you want to call it. You know, we're gonna do be scary stuff, scary stuff. So I got us some local Mississippi legends that have happened. You know, if you like the woo spooky stuff, I'm gonna see how the poll going so far. Let me look at the poll. Uh-oh. So far, it is they fighting back and forth. They fighting back and forth on who is what and what is what. I'm gonna get that poll. It's been 2 minutes. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes, 3 minutes, and then we're gonna end the poll and we're gonna see who, you know, who said what and what and what. And over the weekend, I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on with this membership thing because I can't figure out how to turn them on and whatnot. So I got to do that. I may have to actually email support because I don't see the button. There's supposed to be a button, and it may be that because my analytics haven't all the way updated for everything, even though I got the thing, my super stickers are on, but for some reason I can't figure out how to turn it on. I got to figure that out. I'm gonna be asleep too, Red Wings. Like I might catch red vines, not red wings. So sorry. Red vines. I may watch like the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna be asleep. Okay. And then I'll have to catch the rest of it when I wake up in the morning. The only thing that kind of sucks about doing that is that I'm trying to watch it really fast, right? I'm trying to watch it really fast. So therefore, like I may skip over something that might be important. Hey, Miss Wise Eyes. Yeah, TG, I know I gotta go into the YouTube studios and whatnot and go into earn and all that other stuff and blah blah blah. But the button's not showing up for me in the YouTube studio. So I did see that somebody else had that issue. I'm not the only one. That sometimes you have to email support to have them fix that situation. So, you know, I did see that. I may end up having to email them over the weekend and see what's going on. It may be that it needs to update a little bit more, maybe because it's brand new, you know. I did see that. Yeah, all I see when I do that is the $ is the super stickers and the super chat. So I know that it's on. It's just that I got to get the membership stuff right. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's not there for you either. That's not on either, even though it shows it's on for me. That's crazy. Yeah, the membership's not on because I got to figure out how to do that or what's going on with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll, y'all. If y'all haven't voted, make sure you vote right quick. It's been 4 minutes. We have so far. What night shows are y'all gonna watch? You know, so far that's the one. Lemon's winning. Some people are saying neither. Just Krista's getting 5%, and you know, just gonna make sure everybody got a chance to vote. We're gonna end this poll and see what had happened was. That was my very first poll, y'all. Look at that. Look at my first poll. Look at my first poll. Okay, I had to say that. Oh yeah, the membership's not there. Because I haven't turned it on yet. I don't know how. Yeah, Miss TG, I haven't figured that out. I got to figure that out. That's what I was just saying. Hey, why Tanya Jones? Yes, so the poll goes stating right now, when I asked what night show people are going to be watching, 43% said Lemon, 34% said neither, 17% said I catch the replay because I'm asleep, and 4% said just Krista. Just Krista, you're not winning that poll right now, baby. I'm just saying that's you know, that's what the chat's saying. That's what the chat's saying. Right now they're saying Lemon, you know. TG, if you are on like StreamYard, you have to have like your YouTube chat pulled up, and then like you're looking at your actual YouTube live yourself talking, right? You got yourself muted so you won't have no background noises. You know, you won't hear yourself twice. You have to go to the plus sign that's down by your money thing, and it'll say start a Q&A or start a poll, engage with your audience pretty much. It's a little plus button that only you can see. You know what I'm saying? Only you can see it. The audience cannot see that per se. This is my first time doing a poll. Look at me. But so that is basically what has happened. I'm gonna drop the link. And then if nobody comes up, we'll move over to the spooky stories. But that way, if anybody has anything to say on anything that they've heard so far from the beef sector, or maybe something I missed that they want to bring up, because you never know, there might be something I missed. If anybody wants to hit the link and talk about any situation that they've saw happen in the beef sector, if you would like to clear your name, if you're the topic to conversation and I said something wrong or reported something in a way that was not the way you meant it, you may also pop up and, do what you got to do. Yes, TG, you have to have your StreamYard for yourself, but you have to have your actual YouTube like live pulled up to do the poll. Yeah. Yay, because actually I think Mrs. Pizarro was telling somebody else how to do that, and that's how I learned how to do it, because I listened to him. I think it might have been Lolo, I'm not sure. But I was, I like listening to the other people and learning, because that's how you learn things, right? But so basically, in a nutshell, right now, the stories that we have going, we have the Deanna and VS situation going right now, right? They're having their back and forth. Miss Red and Miss Dovey have their storyline going right now, their beef. And then we have, the Just Krista and Lemon situation, what's going to happen with it. Lemon did not do a live last night. I'm not sure if he's coming live tonight. I think he will. Let me go ahead and we got to guess this is y'all. I got to get myself on point. Is that you, Mr. G?
Yes, this is me. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay, sometimes my phone.
You're a little glitchy, but it's not. It's like, when it's popping or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing.
I'm not at home with my computer, but if you can hear me, I just have to say congratulations on your channel. You're doing your thing there.
I can't hear you, Miss TG. It's popping real bad now.
It is. Well, I try to come back on later. So I guess I'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later, Miss TG. I heard that part.
Okay, hear this.
It's still really glitchy, but it's like if I listen hard enough, I can catch on to what you're saying, but it's really glitchy, like really bad, and I don't know why.
Okay, I'll be home in like an hour, so but I just put in I'm just coming up to congratulate you on your channel.
Thank you, Miss TG, so much. Y'all look so beautiful at that wedding too. Y'all was getting it. I was like, what?
Okay, please. I tell y'all, just cause y'all don't see us dress on these streets, real life streets, we do need on some shop shit. I ain't right, but that's how we was raised. When you go outside, you better look good. Okay.
I didn't understand anything you said, Miss TG. I want to cry. Bye, Miss TG. Okay. I'm really sad because she's so pretty. I'm so sorry, Miss TG, but it was really, really bad. I promise. I will say that if you have a laptop, Miss TG, you should totally look into getting you a Yeti mic. Also, I've heard there's something. Yeah, same thing, Miss Unwild with Messy. I only understood congratulations, and I was catching a few, like one or two words, if that makes sense. It could be. I will say that I have heard if you don't use headphones of some kind or a microphone or something like that. Sometimes with StreamYard that it does that with certain people. Because Just Krista does it all the time. And last night they were telling her about something about turning on echo cancellation. Oh, you're at the doctor's office. That's why. You ain't getting good service up in there. Because them doctor's offices be having bad service sometimes. You be careful at the doctor's office, and I hope if that's your doctor's appointment, whoever's it is, that they get good news. And if it's a good checkup, it's a good checkup. That's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, the situation with Just Krista and Lemon, it's been going on for a minute. I don't know with these night lives what's going to happen, and but I will say that this will show like who's for who and what's for what. Me, myself, and y'all probably gonna catch me in there for about 2 seconds because y'all gonna be doing this while I'm asleep. Now, Miss JC, if you don't see me pop in because you going at 10:30 or 10:45, that's because I'm already in bed. And you can ask Lemon if he don't set it up before I go to bed, I don't even get to share him out. I just be sleep. Okay. I'm sorry for y'all, but I just be sleep sometimes. But we're going to talk about some Mississippi legends. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of some of these. Now, there's this one that specifically I know for a fact when we were talking about Columbus, Mississippi yesterday, I've heard this urban legend before, right? There's an urban legend that is specifically from Columbus, Mississippi, since Columbus was a thing that we were talking about yesterday. All right, there's a ghost story. Okay, let me get some of these ads down, y'all. I'm sorry about all these ads. Some of these be crazy. The legend of Mississippi, the three-legged lady, will make your hair stand on end. Now, I've heard the legend of the three-legged lady. They used to tell that to us kids as ghost stories when we was real little to scare us. Oh, you better not do that. A three-legged lady gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? It says, of all the ghost stories, urban legends, and folklore associated with Mississippi, the legend of the three-legged lady is by far one of the creepiest. For years, locals have told the story of the phantom woman and the lonely stretch of road she haunts. Have you ever seen the three-legged woman? Most people have not, so let's take a closer look. That's if you dare. The legend of the three-legged lady is known far and wide. The locals report the most sightings take place between 2661 and 4548 Nash Road. So right about in this area, see, they're showing us the road right here. It's a little back road, you know what I'm saying? The location is not far from the Lock and Dam in Columbus. And if y'all don't know what the Lock and Dam is, when they say that, it's the Tennessee Tombigbee River, Lock and Dam. It goes, it's a tributary right off the Mississippi, right? The Mississippi feeds into the Tennessee. It's where the Tennessee and Tombigbee River meet, pretty much. It comes from Tennessee. It also meets the Mississippi River, right? It's quite a lot of us go fishing there and stuff like that. And, they have the Lock and Dams in Columbus. They have one in Aberdeen. They have one in Amory. Pretty sure they have them up and down the river. They do barges on that river. River boats go through there and stuff like that. I said, but this three-legged woman doesn't just haunt the area. She torments drivers by chasing their cars down the roadway. This is what the road looks like. See how it's got the water standing on one side? I bet you can get some crawdaddies right there to go fishing. But anyway, that's side the point. It's just an old dirt road, right? An old gravel road. As the story goes, motorists who want to see one of the most famous Mississippi urban legends should stop on Nash Road, turn off the headlights, and honk the horn 3 times. After doing so, the three-legged lady knocks on the roof of the car and then races the driver to the end of the road, hitting the car with her body the entire time. Being chased by anyone is scary enough, but when it's a ghost with 3 legs, one of which seems to be rotting and sewn to her body, is downright frightening. As you've probably guessed by now, the variations of the story behind urban legends in Mississippi often run wild. As a result, there are several tales about the three-legged lady and how she ended up with an extra limb. Some say the three-legged lady was removed from a dead lover and attached to her body. Others say the three-legged lady is actually the ghost of a mother searching for her dismembered daughter. In this case, the third leg is all the mother found of her daughter. Still, others think the phantom is a result of a satanic cult that once performed sacrifices in a nearby church. Now, this is a video right here that we have of the three-legged lady. We're going to watch it right quick.
So you want to hear a ghost story?
Isn't that kind of dumb?
Well, actually, this one's actually pretty cool.
Okay, tell me.
Are you sure this is the right road? The road sign said it was Nash Road.
Yeah, I'm sure this is the right place.
So what exactly do we have to do when we get out there?
So there's this place called Nash Road by the Lock and Dam, and it's haunted by the three-legged lady. So if you drive out by the cemetery on the road and park your car, turn your engine off, then you flash your lights 3 times and honk your horn.
And 3 times. And then we are in for a little treat with the three-legged lady.
Then what happens?
Well, then they say the three-legged lady's gonna bang on the roof of your car, and you have to start your engine and race her out of there, or she'll kill you.
I think we're here.
So are you ready to do this?
Stop being a wuss. Let's do it.
Oh my God, do you hear that?
I think we should leave now.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Oh my God, it's not starting.
Get out, run, run!
Oh my God, there's a few.
I guess that was a pretty good story.
And yeah, that's just a little, cutesy thing about the three-legged lady. And so, have you ever visited Nash Road? Did you know about the three-legged lady? Did you get a glimpse at the Phantom Woman? If not, do you think you've got the guts to do so? We'd love to read your thoughts or experiences in the comments section below. And if you know of another creepy legend, tell us about it. Now, y'all know there are many creepy legends that surround Mississippi, right? It's not just the three-legged lady. Now, the three-legged, hey Street in Scotland, hey VS Love, hey Miss Liz. That is one that does go around a lot in Mississippi. It's in Columbus. It's called the three-legged lady, and it is a thing that I'm gonna share this tab instead. I'm gonna add it to stage. Also, this is my copyright disclaimer right here. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go through this part of the three-legged lady. That's just one little thing, right? Let me make sure that everything's showing. Okay. Located in Lowndes County in Mississippi, Nash Road is believed to be haunted by a woman who suffered a terrible tragedy and now stalks the road carrying a leg searching for a lost loved one. In one version of the story, a young girl was out on the road near a church when she was struck by a car, killing her instantly. From a distance, her mother's heard scream as the vehicle struck and rushed to the scene. When she arrived, the car and her daughter were both gone, leaving behind a bloody leg. A variation of the story claims the young daughter was out walking along the road when she came upon an unknown serial killer Being on an isolated road, the Iller took the opportunity to ill the girl and dismember her, taking only her head with him as a souvenir. The mother later found the leg of her daughter and accused all those who drove by of being the Iller, attempting to chase them down for revenge. In both variations, the trauma caused the woman to go mad, and depending on who tells the story, she either sewed the leg onto her own body or she wandered the road with the leg in her hand looking for her daughter's Iller until her death. In another version, taking place several years after the Civil War, a farmer living on Nash Road discovered his wife had an affair with a Civil War veteran. The farmer hunted the man down, tied his body to a horse, and dragged his body down the road. Pieces of the veteran's body were torn by the gravel and rocks, including his leg. When the farmer's wife learned of what had happened, she went mad and illed her husband. She then found the veteran's leg and sewed it onto her body and illed herself. A prominent variation of this version of the legend has the husband as being the cheater, leading the woman to go mad and ill him. Chopping him into pieces, she then sewed his leg onto her body so she would always have a piece of him with her. When the church on Nash Road found out about the crime, they told her to turn herself in or they would do it. In response, the woman waited until Sunday Mass, and once the church was filled up, she locked the doors and burned it to the ground. She was never seen again. Each version of this story ends with a warning to any motorists or curious individuals if they travel down Nash Road and attempt to find the ghost of the three-legged lady, she will find them first. Several motorists claim to have seen the shadowy figure of a woman holding on to a leg, staring at them from the woods, or have heard her cries calling out to her lost loved one in the dead of the night. Some even claim to have been chased by the woman, later finding unexplained handprints on their car. If there's any truth to these stories of the three-legged lady, we couldn't find it, and today is classified as an urban legend, there to warn motorists to not linger too long if they decide to visit Nash Road. So, that is a cute one from Mississippi. We also have the the Crossroads. I know y'all have all heard about the blues legend, right? Who literally sold his soul to the devil to be a better blues player. I know everyone just about has heard or seen it in a TV show. It was featured in Supernatural and other shows about the Crossroads deal, right? That actually happened in Mississippi. It happened near Clarksdale, down south Mississippi, right? You can actually go down there and stay in there's bed. I actually met a couple up here who have a bed and breakfast down there to where you can stay and go see, the bar. You can go see the Crossroads where it's supposed to happen. Now, the locals will tell you that the Crossroads is not actually the one they have the sign by. It's actually in a different place, but they built the highway there so they can't, it's the actual Crossroads has been covered up. That it's actually in the middle of the highway, not where they actually have the sign. That's what a lot of people say. It's actually at a turnoff where they built the new highway. So I don't know. Have y'all ever heard of the Crossroads deal? And have you ever heard of the three-legged lady? That's we have quite a few, and a lot of them stem from, if you've never heard of it, the Natchez Trace Parkway. I do think sometimes, James, I will say that I think they don't tell you the exact location because of superstition and the fact that they're worried people may actually try to go there and do something, right? The Natchez Trace Parkway, if you go up and down it, they have a thing called the witches. What's it called? The witches. It's called the witches dance. That's the name of it. It's called the witches dance. It's along the Natchez Trace Parkway, right? And there's a sign there that states, if you go into the woods, you can see a circle where no grass grows, right? If you can find the circle where no grass grows, that's where the witches did their dances and did their little spooky ooky, right? And it's actually down there, yeah. You've never heard of the three-legged lady. That's a thing that they used to tell us Mississippi kids sometimes, especially up here in North Mississippi, to like scare you from like doing some the three-legged. And then they have one about the possum man. That's the one that my uncle used to tell me to try to scare me when I was a kid. But I'm gonna share screen for I'm gonna present. I got some things pulled up about you know let me make sure I pull this down so I can see everything clearly here. Okay. We're going to talk about the which one is this one? Okay, here we go. I'm going to share this one right quick. We're going to find out first who the actual gentleman is, because he was a real person. Like, this is based around a real person. This is not based on just like the three-legged woman, right? The stories are all over the place with it. The thing about the blues legend, he was an actual person. His name was Robert Johnson. Okay. Robert Leroy Johnson, born May 8th, 1911, and he passed away on August the 16th, 1938. Was an American blues musician and songwriter. His landmark recordings in 1936 and 1937 display a combination of singing and guitar skills and songwriting talent that has influenced later generations of musicians. Although his recording career spanned only 7 months, he is recognized as a master of the blues, particularly the Delta blues style. As one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame describes him as perhaps the first ever rock star. As a traveling performer who played mostly on street corners, in juke joints, and at Saturday night dances, Johnson had little commercial success or public recognition in his lifetime. He participated in only 2 recording sessions, one in San Antonio in 1936 and one in Dallas in 1937, that produced 29 distinct songs with 13 surviving alternate takes, recorded by Don Law. These songs recorded solo in improvised studios where the totality of his recording output. Most were released as 10-inch 78 RPM singles from 1937 to 1938, with a few released after his death. Other than these recordings, very little was known of his life outside of the small musical circuit in the Mississippi Delta, where he spent most of his lifetime. Much of his story has been reconstructed by researchers. Johnson's poorly documented life and death has given rise to legends. The one most often associated with him is that he sold his soul to the devil at the local crossroads in return for musical success. His music had a small but influential following during his life. In the 2 decades after his death, in late 1938, John Hammond sought him out for a concert at Carnegie Hall. From spirituals to swing, only to discover that Johnson had passed away. Brunswick Records, which owned the original recordings, was bought by Columbia Records, where Hammond was employed. Musicologist Alan Lomax went to Mississippi in 1941 to record Johnson, also not knowing about his death. Law, who by then worked for Columbia Records, assembled a collection of Johnson's recordings titled The King of the Delta Blues Singers that was released by Columbia in 1961. It is credited with finally bringing Johnson's work to a wider audience. The album would become influential, especially in the nascent British blues movement. Eric Clapton had called Johnson the most important blues singer that ever lived. Bob Dylan, Keith Richards, and Robert Plant have cited that both Johnson's lyrics and musicianship as a key influence on their own work. Many of Johnson's songs have been covered over the years, becoming hits for other artists, and his guitar licks and lyrics have been borrowed by many later musicians. Renewed interest in Johnson's work and life led to a burst of scholarships starting in 1960. Much of which is known about him was reconstructed by researchers such as Gail Dean Wardlow and Bruce Comfort, especially in their 2019 award-winning biography of Johnson, Up Jump the Devil, The Real Life of Robert Johnson, Chicago Review Press. 2 films: in 1991 documentary The Search for Robert Johnson by John Hammond Jr., and a 1997 documentary Can't You Hear the Wind Howl? The Life and Music of Robert Johnson, which included reconstructed scenes with Kebmo as Johnson, where attempts to document his life and demonstrate the difficulties arising from the scant history, recorded, and conflicting oral accounts. Over the years, the significance of Johnson and his music has been recognized by the Rock and Roll, Grammy, and Blues Hall of Fames and by the National Recording Preservation Board. Robert Leroy Johnson was born in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, possibly on May 8, 1911, to Julia Major Dodds, born October 1874, and Noah Johnson, born December 1884. Julia was married to Charles Dodds, a relatively prosperous landowner and furniture maker, with whom she had 10 children. Charles Dodds had been forced by a lynch mob to leave Hazelhurst following a dispute with a white landowner. Julia left Hazelhurst with baby Robert, but in less than 2 years, she brought the boy to Memphis to live with her husband, who had changed his name to Charles Spencer. Robert spent the next 8 to 9 years growing up in Memphis and attended the Carnes Avenue Colored School, where he received lessons in arithmetic, reading, language, music, geography, and physical exercise. It was in Memphis that he acquired his love and knowledge of the blues and popular music. His education in urban context placed him a part of the most contemporary blues musicians. Robert rejoined his mother around 1920 after she married an illiterate sharecropper named Will Dusty Willis. They originally settled on a plantation in Lucas Township in Crittenden County, Arkansas, but soon moved across the Mississippi River to Commerce in the Mississippi Delta near Tunica and Robbinsville. They lived on the Abbey and Leatherman plantation. Julia's new husband was 24 years her junior. Robert was remembered by some residents as Little Robert Dusty, but he was registered at Tunica's Indian Creek School as Robert Spencer. In 1920 census, he is listed as Robert Spencer, living in Lucas, Arkansas, with Will and Julia Willis. Robert was at his school in 1924 and 1927. The quality of his signature on his marriage certificate suggests that he was relatively well educated for a man of his background. A school friend, Will Coffey, who was interviewed and filmed in later in life, recalled that as a youth, Robert was already noted for playing the harmonica and jaw harp. Coffey recalled that Robert was absent for long periods, which suggested that he may have been living and studying in Memphis. Once Julia informed Robert about his biological father, Robert adopted the surname Johnson, using it on the certificate of his marriage to his 14-year-old Virginia Travis in February of 1929. She died in childbirth shortly after. Surviving relatives of Virginia told the blues researcher Robert McCormick that this was a divine punishment for Robert's decision to sing secular songs known as Selling Your Soul to the Devil. McCormick believed that Johnson himself accepted the phrase as a description of his resolve to abandon the settled life of a husband and farmer to become a full-time blues musician. Around the time the blues musician's son House moved to Robinsonville, where his musical partner Willie Brown lived. Late in life, House remembered Johnson as a little boy who was competent harmonica player but an embarrassingly bad guitarist. Soon after Johnson left Robinsonville for the area around Martinsville, close to his birthplace, possibly searching for his natural father. Here's the perfect guitar style of House and learned other styles from Isaiah Ike Zimmerman. Zimmerman was rumored to have learned supernaturally to play the guitar by visiting graveyards at midnight. When Johnson next appeared in Robinsonville, he seemed to have miraculously acquired a guitar technique. House was interviewed at the time when the legend of Johnson's pact with the devil was well known among blues research. He was asked whether he attributed Johnson's technique to the pact, and his equivocal answer have been taken as confirmation. While living in Martinsville, Johnson's fathered a child with Virgie Mae Smith. He married Khalida Craft in May 1931. In 1932, the couple settled for a while in Clarksdale, Mississippi, in the Delta. But Johnson soon left for a career as a walking or inherent musician. Khalida died in early 1933. But we're going to switch over to the actual mystery, right? I just wanted to give y'all a little background of who he was as a person, right? You know, but his name was Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson. That is the name of, like, he was an amazing, you know, a lot of great blues musicians have came out of the state of Mississippi. But I want to, you know, go over his life a little bit before we go over the crossroads, right? The crossroads, where they say the crossroads is, you know, the crossroads, you know, everything that they say about it before we even touch on that, because they say he made a deal with the devil, right? They say he did to make him better. I just wanted to go over who he was so we would get exploring the mysteries, the 4 possible crossroad locations where Robert Johnson sold his soul. So this is where they're saying the locations are. Dockery Plantation Crossroads near Cleveland, Mississippi holds significant historical relevance as the hub for Delta blues musicians. It is also known that Johnson frequented this area and may have made his infamous deal with the devil at the crossroads near the plantation. Some say that the ridicule he suffered from more established Dockery musicians prompted the despair, and the preceded his fatal crossroads meeting. About a mile east of the entrance to Dockery, on an old dirt road, is a crossroad that many believe to be the one. The haunting ambience and the deep blues roots of Dockery Plantation leads credibility to this theory, making it a compelling location to consider. Rosedale Crossroads. Rosedale, Mississippi has long been associated with the Crossroads legend. Some speculate that the intersection of highways 1 and 8 in Rosedale is the spot where Johnson made his pact. Rosedale's reputation as a vibrant blues town and its proximity to other notable blues locations strengthen the allure to the crossroads as the site of Johnson's legendary encounter. Additionally, Johnson includes mentions of Rosedale and Traveling Riverside Blues, a song which he has been covered by Led Zeppelin, Cream, Eric Clapton, Lynyrd Skynyrd, The Doors, the Allman Brothers, and a host of others. It is said that he was traveling dejected from Dockery Farms to Rosedale when the transaction took place. Clarksdale. Now that's the one that I hear of all the time. Clarksdale, Mississippi, often held as the birthplace of the blues, is another contender for the crossroads where Johnson sold his soul. The intersections of Highway 49 and 61 in Clarksdale has gained significant recognition as the potential location due to its prominence in blues history and the abundance of blues-related landmarks in the area. The mystique and aura surrounding Clarksdale contributes to its appeal as the possible site of Johnson's fateful transactions. Ballula Crossroads. Back during the time of Johnson, there was an old railroad system called the Peonvine Railroad that connected many small villages throughout the Delta. Working from the assumption that Johnson was traveling from Dockery Plantation to Rosedale, he would have debarked from Ballula had he taken the train on the road between Ballula and Rosedale in the final crossroads, highlighted in the post a lonesome place in the middle of cotton fields that looks like what his crossroad may look like in the imagination. So much so, it was the setting for the depiction of the crossroads in the 1986 movie Crossroads, starring Ralph Macchio. You can see the clip in the crossroads in the first scene of the Crossroads trailer here. Conclusion. The mystery surrounding the Crossroads where Robert Johnson allegedly sold his soul to the devil remains a subject of fascination and speculation. The 4 locations of Dockery Plantation, Rosedale, Clarksdale, Beulah, and offer compelling narratives and historical significance to the legend as the story continues to inspire musicians, writers, and blues enthusiasts. It is enduring impact of Johnson's music and the lore of his myth to keep the quest of the true Crossroads alive. Whether one believes in the supernatural aspect or interprets the tale as an archetypal metaphor for Johnson's dedication to his craft, exploring these potential locations adds to the depth of the enduring legacy of one of the most influential figures in blues history. So here's my question to y'all. Y'all have heard of the Crossroads deal, right? Like, here's the thing to my thoughts, okay? He is a blues legend. And that is true. And he did some music way back then, and a lot of people have covered his music. He didn't get to live on this, earth long. One of the reasons why I think it is really set in that they're saying this is because they say, now this is what I've heard from way back, actual locals and stuff, that he could not really play a lick or wasn't that good at the guitar. And then it was like within a few weeks, he came back and he could play. Like he was one of the best guitar players you ever seen, right? Now that's what they say. So that's why they give credence to, saying that. And also it wasn't, but like, I think they say 6 months after he came back, or 6 years or something, 10 years, that he passed away. Something like that. Like, so he didn't get, it wasn't long after that, and if you ever watch Supernatural, if you're a Supernatural fan, if you've ever watched the TV show, they actually did a show called The Crossroads. And it is talking about, that time frame and how he sold his soul to the devil. And they talk about, voodoo and hoodoo and all that other stuff and whatnot. But that's where a lot of people get the Crossroads demon deals. That's the story it always comes from. So if you didn't know that and you hear about that, the Crossroad deals, that's where that story comes from. That's where it originates. It originates from Mr. Robert Johnson and his deal with the devil. Y'all can't see me doing it, but I'm totally doing air quotes. Yeah, that episode did have Snooki from Jersey Shore in it too. But Robert Johnson was an actual person. He did have an amazing life. He is associated as, one of the best blues players, according to, that and whatnot. But they do have, like, if you come to Mississippi, I do know for a fact that they have, like, places you can stop and see to visit the Crossroads area. They even have, like, the original bar that he supposedly played in. They have, like, different things put up and all, because it's a legend in Mississippi. Like, you were talking about that. Somebody else was talking about Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters is also a huge one in Mississippi. We actually have a lot of blues legends. B.B. King was from Mississippi. And the list goes on. There's, if you actually look at the first blues musicians that started in Memphis, right? If you look at their birthplace, guess where they came from? Mississippi, a lot of them. The Delta blues was a huge thing that did influence blues in general. So, I'm not saying that taking credence from any other state or any other place, but Mississippi was back then the home of the blues. A lot of things blues related came from here. It just, it was a huge thing. You can actually go up and down our highways and they actually have placards and stuff for B.B. King, for Muddy Waters, so many more blues musicians, famous female blues musicians that you wouldn't believe. A lot of them will try to say they hail from Tennessee, but actually they don't. They hail from Mississippi. They came from here. They moved to Tennessee because Tennessee had, a huger audience per se, because Mississippi's was basically juke joints and Saturday nights and, little things, right? But Tennessee and Memphis had where the recording places were and all that other stuff, right? So if you were in Mississippi and you wanted to like strike it big, and they had started that show that they did that at the club, and that's why Beale Street is so important. They started doing like more for that in Memphis, Tennessee. So that's why you'll see Memphis, Tennessee as hailed as that. But actually, a lot of those people from that time frame actually came from Mississippi. And it really was. It was amazing. Mississippi has its sordid history on some things, but some things are really cool. Mr. Robert Johnson, may he rest in peace. I hope that, and I want to show y'all this right quick. This actually shows one of the original buildings or whatnot. Let me see. Let me present, share screen. Isn't that really cool? Ground Zero gets really loud at night. See, they do still have some of the original buildings, which I think is really cool, and they still play, that's Ground Zero Blues Club. And it is believed that Clarksdale is ground zero for the blues in America. They still do the blues down there. Like that's the Riverside Hotel. That place is still standing. You get what I'm saying? Like you can actually go see his grave site. This is his grave site, where he was buried, Robert Johnson. He was born on May 8th, 1911, and he passed away on August 16th, 1938. So technically, he was 27 when he passed, if I'm not mistaken. I'm doing the math correct, or he was in his 20s when he passed away, so he was not that old. But it's really cool the fact that you can still go see these historically, if you like historic things, even if you don't like spooky things, right? But the Riverside Hotel has been open since 1944, and you can stay there today. It's historic for being where Black musicians stayed while playing on the Chitlin. They called it the Chitlin Circuit, right? Or Chitlin. I think it was Chitlin, though. Yeah, the Chitlin Circuit. Since until well into the 60s. There weren't many hotels in Mississippi that allowed blacks. Many great artists stayed here, from Duke Ellington to Sam Cooke, James Brown, Sonny Boy Williamson, Ike Turner, who is said to have written Rocket 88 there. Longtime owner Frank Ratliff passed away in 2013, but when he was alive, you found him in a plastic chair outside, ready to give anyone who wanted it a tour of the mythical establishment. The hotel now is run by his daughter, Zelina Z. Ratliff. Before it was a hotel, it was the G.T. Thomas Hospital, where blues singer Bessie Smith died in 1937 after a car accident. Now, Bessie Smith is also another huge blues musician, right? But yeah, this is actual real things that are missing, which I think is really cool. Is it spooky that he could have sold his soul, right? Is it? Yeah, it's spooky. Yeah, they did. They went from Mississippi to Memphis to record, because Memphis had the recording studios. We didn't have all that. We had the juke joints. We had the bars. We had the stuff like that. We had the music scene. We just didn't have the recording. But a lot of famous legends actually came out of Mississippi, which is really cool. But do you believe that he sold his soul Or do you believe he just learned his craft? That's up to you. You can look more into the Crossroads deals, legend, but it is really cool that a lot of people don't know that it actually went down the Crossroads deal in Mississippi, right? And it is a true story. Well, to some degree, it's true. There was a man named Mr. Robert Johnson. He was a blues musician. Whether or not he sold his soul, you know what I'm saying? But they're saying that he sold his soul because he went from not being able to play good to the most amazing musician ever. And it was also the way that he passed away, right, that made people lead credence into, well, maybe he did, because it was mysterious circumstance, right? And the way that it happened exactly so many years after, or so many months, or so many, after he started really playing the blues correctly, that led a lot of people to believe that, right? But me, myself, and I have been told about the three-legged woman and all that. And then you have like the Yazoo witch. There's the legend of the Yazoo witch. We have so much other stuff down here. If in case you have for Freaky Fridays some kind of legend that you want to talk about on Freaky Fridays, on Spooky Fridays for Halloween or whatnot, you can pop that down either here in the live chat while we're live, or after the live in the comment section, and I can do some research, pull up some stuff, and we can talk about it. Now, I will say that, there's different legends, obviously urban legends. We can talk about different spooky stuff because, we got to do it for Halloween. Halloween is coming through. But I also do want to say, Miss Tracy, still praying for you, love. I know that you and your family are going through something right now that no one should ever have to go through. And I just want to shout out and send love to you. I'm going to go ahead and direct y'all over to who is live right now in the sector. So what we have going on right now, and I'm going to make sure I refresh my page so that I can look, because, sometimes it doesn't show up. We have Ness live. We have Dr. Passa J. Wilson, the Good Putty Cat, Officer Pillsbury. That's who we have live right now. So I'm going to, me, myself, and I see what drama's going over there, because what I see from is that Just Krista, Demaso, Pinocchio, and Jay Wilson is up on, Jay Wilson's platform. I'm going to go over there and see what's going on. I hope y'all have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank y'all for being there with me this morning. As soon as I figure out this membership thing, we're going to have and figure out get all my ducks in a row. We are going to have a party for that, a celebration, because I do want to give my thanks. I'm going to make some little videos through Canva and some things. I do want to say my thanks to everybody, because without y'all, I wouldn't even have this opportunity. So I want to say thank you to everyone, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street.
the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street.